and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to the new XT1200ZE Super Ténéré Raid Edition. And it's been ridden onto the stage by Nick Sanders. Now, Nick's one of the most famous ambassadors of Yamaha's real spirit of adventure. Nick, thank you so much for bringing this amazing adventure machine onto the stage with us. Before we speak to you, Nick, thanks for joining us as well. He's travelled quite a way to get here, but we'll talk about that in a second. Eric, first of all, tell us about this new model. Tell us about this bike.
Yeah, I will say easily that this bike is just a result of maturity, because we have been launching the Super Ténéré some years ago, and then we have been improving it, and especially when we have adapted electric suspension, and then this bike became a real very high performance bike for long touring distance and adventure. And finally, if you look around you, you don't see so many Super Ténéré in the cities. But if you go abroad, if you go on the desert, if you go on really adventure field, then you realize that you can see many. So this is where the bikes are. So we were considering that it was time now to propose a full version, fully equipped, like we are doing with R1M or MT10 SP or even MT09 SP we have seen tonight, to consider how to fulfill the request and the demand of our customers with a full equipment fitting the bike. But it's the result of experience, and I think I have a very experienced guy next to me. And finally, it was the result of his work, because you don't know that you work, but you are working, finally, making all these kilometers to help us to develop this kind of version. So thanks, Nick, for your contribution.
Thank you, Eric.
Nick,
thank you.
You've taken part in so many extreme challenges, most of those, shall we say, in recent years, all on Yamaha adventure bikes. You've set a few records, haven't you, along the way as well?
Well, Gavin, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, I have actually motorcycled around the world 7 times, and the fastest time that I did it was 19 days, 4 hours. And I've ridden the length of the Americas from Tierra del Fuego to Prudhoe Bay in Alaska 8 times, and the fastest time I did that was in 21 days, 8 hours, so both were records. In fact, I've just ridden from the United Kingdom to Mongolia, through Europe and through Russia and Siberia on the onset of winter, 15,000 kilometers, and I flew back the day before yesterday, and I did it simply because I just wanted to, you know. Eric, I don't know what it's like for you, but I've ridden 750,000 kilometers in my riding life, and I just feel, because I'm a motorcyclist, I feel I'm still at the beginning again. You know, it's simple.
It's brilliant. It does sound amazing. I bet on all these travels, on those hundreds of thousands of kilometers that you've ridden around the world, you've met other people, other travelers along the way, motorcycle enthusiasts as well. And it seems a lot of people these days are looking for new destinations all the time.
I mean, let me tell you what friendship is all about. You know, we've all got friends in our local towns. But you know, when you meet a motorcyclist coming towards you, and he or she may have ridden across the Himalayas or the Atacama Desert, and you may well have done the same thing too. Now, you meet up with that person, and you're having a conversation on the side of the road. We're not talking about lifestyle. We're talking about a way of life. We're talking about a way of being. You know, ladies and gentlemen, for me, motorcycling has been my life, and motorcycle adventure touring is a very special place in our sport. You know, it's full of emotion. It's full of passion. It's full of a depth of feeling. You know, some people say it comes from the heart. Can I just say that I think it comes further than that, and deeper than that, and more fundamentally than that. I think it touches the soul, and it certainly does for me.
Yeah, and you take a lot of other people out there. Tell us about Destination Yamaha Motor and how that's helping other people get those same sensations.
Well, Yamaha have created this portal called Destination Yamaha, and basically they've gathered together some of the most highly professional motorcycle touring operators in the world, and they're prepared to take people who are not quite ready, if you like, for their first major journey. They want to give them a helping hand. They want to hold their hand. And I think it's a wonderful operation. I'm doing it myself next year. I'm taking people to Iran. I'm taking people to Vladivostok. And in that sense, we're all ambassadors to the sport. And we all come back and we tell our loved ones what we've done, and it can't be a bad thing to make the world a better place.
I've got to ask you while you're up here on stage, though, What about the bike? You've ridden it, you've had a chance to have a ride. We saw that in the video. What do you make of it? What do you expect?
Well, I love it. You know, I've ridden the Super Ténéré. I did it non-stop, Tierra del Fuego to Alaska, and then back down again, 46,000 miles on it. You kind of get to know it. It's a great bike. It's lovely. It feels very super. I love the look of it. I love the fact that now we've got this liquid-cooled engine. It's never going to break down. Do you realize I've ridden 500,000 miles on a Yamaha, and it's never broken down once, ever? That says something about the engineering quality of what we're dealing with here.
How did you do so many miles and staying so young?
Oh, well, there we are. You old flatterer, Eric.
No, it means that you were riding also in the night and day and night and day.
You're riding day and night, but you're happy doing it. Because it's something that you believe in. It's something that you want to do. You're not a prisoner to your conscience. You're not a prisoner to your job. You've somehow extracted your way from out of all of that. And this is what motorcyclists want to do in this very particular sector. They want to get away from the burden and the drudgery of their life, the difficulties at home. They want to get on that bike and they want to ride across towards the horizon. It's as simple as that.
And there's a lot of people here and at home as well who I'm sure want to come and join you on one of those adventures. Nick, thank you so much for sharing us. Adrian, thank you as well for being up here on stage with us. Ladies and gentlemen, the Yamaha Ténéré 700 World Raid and the Super Ténéré XT1200ZE. Thank you very much for presenting them to us. Nick and Adrian. Thanks, Eric, as well.
Thank you.